God says, $28 trillion is being released to you now. Open it quickly. Prayer for money. Beloved, I invite you to take a deep breath and pause for a moment. I want you to fully absorb what is happening right now as you stand on the edge of a divine miracle that has been quietly unfolding throughout eternity. Today, heaven is releasing something monumental, $28 trillion directly into your name. Do not be distracted by the sheer size of the number, for its true value lies not in the digits or the coins, but in what it carries with it. This is a release of divine recognition, long-awaited restoration, and unstoppable favor. The books in heaven have been opened, and your name has been highlighted at the top, shining with the light of grace. I have seen you, my child, endure through countless struggles, facing nights that felt endless and praying through silence that seemed to stretch forever. You may have wondered if I was listening, if I was silent in your pain. But, my dear one, I was calculating, working behind the scenes, and every delay, every moment of waiting was part of your divine design. Each challenge you faced added weight to your destiny, and now, heaven itself has balanced the books. Today, the numbers align, and the Treasury of Grace has authorized a transfer that no earthly banker could ever approve, one that is beyond comprehension. This is not a reward for your perfection, but for your perseverance. The angels of divine equity now stand with you, holding scrolls sealed in gold, each filled with new opportunities that align perfectly with your calling. Do not measure this blessing by what your hands can hold or count. Instead, measure it by what your faith can carry. In heaven's language, 28 trillion signifies an endless flow, a life that will never run dry. It represents doors that will open and remain open, and cycles of loss that have now come to an end. Even now, as you listen to these words, invisible transactions are happening, as divine energy flows through time and space, attaching itself to your name and your destiny. The law of attraction, the power of prayer for a financial miracle, is at work in this very moment, pulling resources toward you, aligning your reality with the abundance of heaven. I want you to understand this truth: I have never forgotten a single act of kindness you have done. Every moment you gave when no one noticed. Every time you encouraged others while you were in need yourself. Every prayer you sent out for those who hurt you. They have all been deposited in my unseen bank. The interest has accrued, and now the balance is due. The decree of 28 trillion is heaven's way of saying paid in full, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Archangel Michael watches over you, his wings casting light across your path, and he whispers to the winds. The transfer has begun. Around you, spiritual currents are shifting, and the very air is filled with the scent of release. Even the most ordinary moments in your life are being rewritten with divine potential. Expect encounters, messages, and meetings that seem too perfectly timed to be mere coincidences. These are divine confirmations that your name has been marked by glory. Do not doubt this moment, for doubt delays delivery, but faith accelerates it. When you choose to believe, heaven moves faster. And as your heart says, yes, the release you are waiting for will quickly materialize into reality. Feel the weight of favor in your chest, that peace that comes from nowhere, that stillness in the air. These are signs of heaven's confirmation. I ask you now to protect your atmosphere. Guard your heart and mind from negativity, for you are stepping into a season of miraculous blessings. The prayer for financial miracle you've been praying, the law of attraction you've believed in, all come together in this moment. The angels are working on your behalf, and the resources you need are on their way. Do you believe in this release? Do you trust that heaven is doing its part? It's time to open your heart and mind to the abundance that is coming your way. Take a moment now to affirm your faith in God's timing, in the power of prayer for money, and in the overflowing blessings that are just around the corner. Remember, your faith will move mountains, and your belief in this moment will help you step into the overflow that is your divine inheritance. So, child of God, hold your head high. The transfer has begun, and nothing in this world can stop it. Heaven has spoken, and it is done. God's blessings are tender as they arrive, yet their essence is unbreakable, eternal. In this sacred season, I ask you to focus your thoughts, purify your speech, and open your heart. Let go of the fears that have haunted you in the past. It is time for new beginnings. When you walk in gratitude, worry and fear lose their power. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is the key to unlocking the doors that have long been closed to you. As you express your thankfulness, even before you see the manifestation of your prayers, know that this act of faith will stir divine intervention. Child of promise, understand that I am not sending you into a life of abundance just to show the world your success. I am sending you to be a beacon of light and to influence the world around you for good. There is a divine decree. $28 trillion are being released to you. This isn't just a financial windfall, it is a divine shift. The blessings that are coming to you are meant to alter the atmosphere in your life. Wherever you go, stagnation will flee. People will feel lighter simply by being near you, for your very presence will carry the frequency of fulfilled prophecy. Favor will await you as if it has been preparing for your arrival. Before the day ends, I urge you to speak these words aloud. My vault is open. Say it 3 times, not out of superstition, but in deep synchronization with the divine will. Words, my child, are not just sounds. They are waves of power that command the world around you. When you declare that your vault is open, heaven hears, and the angels begin to move on your behalf. This is not some fleeting fantasy. It is the activation of a divine plan that has been unfolding for generations. Now, lift your head with confidence. You have waited long enough for validation. Today, heaven itself affirms your worth. The decree has been signed, sealed, and sent, and your name is being etched into a new economy of grace. The first signs may be subtle, but they will grow, and soon, even the skeptics will be silenced by the undeniable evidence of your blessings. You were never forgotten, my beloved. Every prayer, every moment of struggle, every tear shed in private was part of your preparation. You were not behind, but rather being aligned with divine timing. You were not lacking, but being loaded with treasures meant for you. God's provision doesn't come by demand, but by divine design. And now, the design points to you. The decree stands firm. The angels are moving. The blessing is alive, and the vault is opening. Heaven is speaking to the earth, and it is saying, deliver it all. If you feel this stirring in your spirit, type Amen to seal your faith in the atmosphere. Your agreement is the key that unlocks heaven's gates. Child of destiny. The 28 trillion decree is not just a statement. It is a divine unfolding through realms you may not yet comprehend. What started as a whisper in the heavens is now rippling through creation, bringing together people, places, and events that are divinely aligned with your name. Hear this, for I do not speak in exaggerations. I speak in evidence. You are about to see the invisible become undeniable. When I promised you a transfer, I meant transformation. It is not merely resources that are being moved toward you, but you are being moved into readiness. You have prayed for open doors, but those doors require open hearts. The work that God is doing within you is just as crucial as the work He is doing around you. Every surrender, every step of obedience is refining your spirit. So when the blessing arrives, it will recognize you. In heaven's economy, provision always finds its rightful owner. Archangel Michael stands before a vast map of light, watching as golden lines converge toward you. He reports that every hindrance, every delay has been dissolved. Even now, people whom you may not know yet are being nudged by heaven to reach out to you, to remember you, to speak your name. This is how heaven works. It stirs hearts, connects dots, and aligns destinies. The 28 trillion decree represents the end of cycles. The season of near misses is over. You will no longer come close and lose. The numbers written over your name are not just numbers. They are settled accounts and secured inheritances. Every seed you planted in faith, every prayer whispered in private, every act of trust that cost you comfort, all of it is returning to you, multiplied. Some of these blessings will come as tangible provisions, while others will come as a deep, abiding peace that settles in your soul. This is the time of divine release. Do not let fear or doubt cloud your vision. Walk in confidence, knowing that your prayers for money, your prayers for a financial miracle are being answered. Do not be swayed by the world's definition of success. Understand that the true abundance you seek is rooted in divine purpose. As you speak your prayer for money, declare that God's provision is already in motion. Your trust and obedience are the triggers for this divine release. This moment marks a new season in your life. You have entered into a new economy of grace, and the gates of heaven are opening wide to pour out blessings that will change your life forever. Stay rooted in faith, remain in gratitude, and know that the best is yet to come. Your vault is open, and the abundant blessings are flowing toward you. Type Amen to seal your faith, and watch as the invisible becomes visible in your life. Remember, when you pray for money, you're not just asking for wealth, you are aligning yourself with divine purpose. God's plan is always greater than anything you can imagine. Trust in His timing, trust in His provision, and watch as the 28 trillion decree transforms your life in ways you never thought possible. Look back for a moment. Don't dwell on the struggles, but reflect on the victories, the moments when you had nothing but faith to hold on to, and yet you made it through. Every hardship you faced, every trial you survived, is now a precious gem in the crown you wear. Those moments weren't just tough, they were qualifying you. They were strengthening you, preparing you for the influence you're about to step into. Can you see that your endurance has built something in you that will allow you to carry the weight of the blessings that are coming? You didn't break, and because of that, God is about to build something through you that others couldn't even carry. Do you know that Archangel Michael is smiling down on you right now? He's whispering that you are no longer waiting for favor to come to you. It's waiting for you to step forward. That's right. Favor is waiting for you to take that bold step. Apply again. Speak again. What once rejected you will now seek you out. What was once a closed door will swing wide open. The atmosphere around you is changing. You are being recognized as a vessel of overflow. Heaven has already recoded the environment around you to align with the wealth and blessings that are headed your way. And here's the secret in the mathematics of heaven. When God speaks of $28 trillion, it's not about excess, it's about establishment. It's about foundations being set. No more starting over, no more feeling like you're rebuilding from scratch. The Lord is ensuring that this time, the blessings He places in your hands will last. Why? Because He has placed endurance in your heart. The blessing will match your capacity, and your capacity has been stretched, refined, and prepared for this moment. Can you feel that? Breathe it in. You are now trusted. Heaven only releases what it can trust, and your long wait was really training in disguise. Every no was sharpening your discernment. Every setback was strengthening your ability to steward what God has for you. As the streams of provision start to manifest, you will find that you are handling them with wisdom that even surprises you. Don't be alarmed if you start feeling a holy pressure. It's not anxiety, it's alignment. God is preparing you for what's coming. He's stirring your spirit to organize, to simplify, to plan. This is the season of alignment, and the blessings are drawing near. To welcome them, you must create space in your life, both in the natural and the supernatural. Clean your spaces, clear your schedules, and set pure intentions. These are the containers for overflow, and the overflow is coming. Everything you touch will transform, and what you plant will prosper. What you release will return to you, multiplied. The angels have already recorded the transaction, and it's active. The transfer is happening right now. Stay gentle, stay grateful, and stay grounded. In the law of attraction, we often talk about the energy we send out into the world. When you align yourself with God's truth and walk in faith, you begin to attract not just money, but peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Your prayer for financial miracle is being heard, and heaven is responding. Trust in that. Know that God's timing is perfect, and His provision is certain. So, what will you do now? Will you step forward boldly, knowing that the blessings are already on their way? Will you open your heart and your hands to receive? The wealth of heaven is already here, ready to flow into your life. Just open your heart and step forward in faith. Beloved, the time has come to open your heart and eyes, for the decree of 28 trillion has entered into the realm of manifestation. This divine transfer, which started in the vaults of heaven, is now unfolding in tangible form before you. You may begin to notice small, yet unmistakable signs that divine wealth is now surrounding you. Before the world fully recognizes it, I need you to recognize me in the process, to see my hand at work in your life. Every miracle begins with awareness. The seeds of blessings multiply when we keep God in our hearts and minds. When Archangel Michael stood before the throne this morning, carrying the golden ledger inscribed with your name, heaven stood still. On that sacred page were the words, "Ready for manifestation." The Father looked upon you, smiled, and saw the growth in your life, the patience you've cultivated, the forgiveness you've shown, and the faith you've upheld, even when it seemed like nothing was happening. Heaven does not forget your labor of love. Faithfulness is the currency of the kingdom, and today, that currency matures. In God's realm, time isn't measured by minutes, but by maturity. What you may have seen as waiting, God saw as ripening. Every prayer, every dream, every plan you've held in your heart has been slowly ripening under His watchful eye. And now, the fruit is ready to be harvested. This decree of 28 trillion is not about luck, but about alignment with God's divine will. It's a confirmation that you are in the right place, at the right time, prepared to receive. You will begin to experience small but meaningful signs. Perhaps you will see repeating numbers, or hear words spoken by a stranger that only God could know. These are not mere coincidences. They are confirmations from heaven's treasury, reminding you that the process has gone from unseen to inevitable. You are on the brink of receiving something powerful, something far greater than just material wealth. You are about to experience divine recognition. People who once overlooked you will now remember your kindness. Conversations you never attended will work in your favor. Emails that had been ignored will suddenly be read. and opportunities that seemed impossible will come to fruition. Heaven is rewriting the memories of people around you so that they recall you at just the right moment. And when the world begins to notice your rise, keep your posture humble and pure. Do not be swayed by applause, for recognition is fragile, but favor is everlasting. You are not being elevated for show. You are being elevated to be a living testimony that obedience is far better than chasing opportunities, that surrender leads to far more than strategy. God has entrusted you with this moment, not to show off, but to show the world His goodness and power. Your life, your words, your actions will speak louder than any sermon ever could. Archangel Michael, standing watch with you, whispers, "The wealth of heaven comes with the wisdom of restraint. God has trained you to move in silence until the moment is right. The first rule of divine success is discretion. God reveals His plans before He rewards you, but He conceals them until you are prepared to carry the blessing with wisdom. When the world sees what God has done for you, they will say, 'Surely the hand of the Lord is upon them.' That is how your testimony will unfold, not through loud noise, but through undeniable fruit. This decree of 28 trillion is also about redemption. What has been stolen from you, what has been withheld, what has been lost. God is now returning it all to you with interest. Perhaps you felt robbed of time, peace, or trust. But know this, God has kept the records. Nothing escapes His gaze. Even the moments you spent in tears, He will redeem. You will not just be restored, you will be repaid. Now is the time to engage in prayer for a financial breakthrough. Start with a prayer for finances, asking God to open doors you never imagined possible. As you make this declaration, you will find that money will begin to flow to you in ways you least expect. Remember, this is not just about material wealth. It's about alignment with God's purposes for your life and the blessing that comes with it. When you pray for money and trust in God's will, you open yourself up to receive the overflow He has promised. You will not only attract money, but you will also experience a supernatural shift in your life that brings about peace, restoration, and an outpouring of blessings. As we reflect on this powerful moment, let's ask ourselves, what is it that God wants to release to you right now? Are you ready to receive it with open arms and an open heart? What areas in your life have you been waiting for a breakthrough? And how can you align yourself with God's will to experience it? Remember, the 28 trillion represents not just a financial release, but a shift in how you live, how you think, and how you receive the goodness of God. This is your time for restoration. Trust in God's timing and His plan for your life. The wealth of heaven is not just about money. It's about living a life of purpose, peace, and fulfillment. When you continue to pray for a financial breakthrough and seek God's guidance, you will see that the wealth you seek is already being released. Trust that God's timing is perfect and that you are walking into a season of abundant blessings. Hold fast to faith, remember your blessings, and know that the best is yet to come. Remember this truth: heaven measures gratitude, not greed. The more thankful you are for what you already have, the more portals of provision will open for you. Gratitude keeps your heart pure, preventing pride from staining the blessings that flow into your life. Make it a habit to speak thanks every morning before you ask for anything else. Gratitude isn't just a ritual, it's a revelation. What you already have is proof of what is coming next. It's a sign that greater things are on their way. And it's a way of showing your faith that what God has for you is already on its way. Right now, I see you standing between two seasons, the one that tested your faith and the one that will testify of God's faithfulness in your life. The bridge between them is faith. Walk it with grace. Every step you take in trust accelerates the flow of God's blessings into your life. You're not walking into a world of chance. You're stepping into a world of divine choice. Heaven has chosen you, and soon the earth will echo that divine choice. Type 111 to align yourself with this decree, for that number signals divine order in the unseen realms. Heaven recognizes your agreement, and where there is agreement, there is multiplication. The scroll of your destiny is still open, and the ink is still fresh. Write your faith into this moment. Let it become the confirmation that heaven has found you ready to receive what's coming. Stand still for a moment and allow this truth to sink in. The decree of 28 trillion has now shifted from promise to performance. What you've felt in the spirit is crossing over into the physical world. Can you sense it? The divine current is no longer waiting for approval from the systems of the world. It already carries the authorization of heaven. This is the moment where unseen prayers become seen provision. God is the one who authored your destiny, and He is the same one unfolding it before your eyes. Every resource you thought you had lost is now returning to you through unseen channels. You will begin to see the evidence, subtle at first but unmistakable as time passes. The realm of grace moves like the dawn. It starts quietly, but then suddenly, everything is illuminated. Do not think for a moment that the number 28 trillion was chosen lightly. In heaven's mathematics, this number signifies a full circle of abundance under covenant. It represents the closure of debt and the birth of destiny. It carries within it the energy of acceleration, multiplication, and restoration. Every digit in this number is a decree of completion. You have entered a cycle that cannot be reversed. Archangel Michael stands by your side, his sword sheathed, for the battles have already been fought. There are no more struggles to face, only blessings to receive. Can you feel that this is your moment, your time of restoration, renewal, and divine provision? And I know that you have been waiting for this moment, praying for a financial miracle, asking for God to show you His abundance. And now, beloved, it is here. You've been aligning with the law of attraction, and now the blessings of money, prosperity, and financial breakthrough are flowing into your life. Take a moment to pause and reflect on this. The prayer for money that you've been praying is being answered. The prayer for financial miracles is being answered. You've asked, and now God is pouring out His blessings upon you. It's not by your own efforts, but by His divine grace that this is happening. The divine decree of $28 trillion is being released to you now, and it's only a matter of time before you see the tangible results. Keep your heart open, your mind focused, and your faith unwavering. The more you trust in God's timing, the more you will see His provision flow into your life. So, I ask you now, are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to walk into the abundance that God has promised you? Take a deep breath, step forward in faith, and know that you are walking into a new season of prosperity, purpose, and divine favor. This is your time, beloved, and you are chosen to receive the abundance of heaven's blessings. Trust in God's promise, believe in His provision, and watch as your financial breakthrough unfolds before your eyes. The war over your destiny is finished. The accusations that once followed you in silence have been silenced themselves. Heaven has ruled in your favor. Every voice that whispered doubt now echoes defeat, for your faith has written the final verdict. Approved and released. Look closely, my child. The first signs are already near. Opportunities that once overlooked you will now pursue you. Doors that once creaked open will now swing wide without resistance. People who once ignored your message will now repeat it. Some will call it luck, but those who understand will know it is legacy. I am reintroducing you to your own life, but this time with glory. The decree of 28 trillion is also an awakening of authority. You will speak and circumstances will obey. You will pray and timing will shift. You will decide and doors will follow. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. You are finally walking in the full measure of who I said you were. The same spirit that raised kingdoms now resides in your words. That is why you must speak carefully. Every declaration you make from now on will carry the weight of manifestation. Understand this mystery. I am not giving you wealth only to ease your burdens, but to elevate your influence. You are not called to hoard riches, but to host righteousness. The abundance I am releasing will build platforms that lift others. It will heal wounds that poverty caused in generations before you. You will pay off what your ancestors could not. You will finish what others started and could not complete. That is why the number is vast. It stretches across bloodlines, repairing time itself. Do not be alarmed when you begin to feel a holy pull in your spirit to create, to move, to build. That impulse is divine guidance disguised as inspiration. Follow it. Heaven gives ideas as keys, and those keys open gates no man can lock. Some of your greatest miracles will arrive wrapped in simple thoughts. What if I tried again? What if I believed again? Act on them quickly. Obedience is the speed of miracles. Archangel Michael watches as you begin to move, and he whispers, "Tell them they are no longer waiting for favor. They are walking in it. You will feel this truth in your body. The weariness that once weighed you down will lift. The fog that clouded your mind will clear. Where there was confusion, there will be strategy. Where there was fear, there will be foresight. This is how heaven transitions a soul from survival to stewardship. Now listen closely. You must guard this blessing the same way a gardener guards new sprouts. Keep your environment pure. Protect your peace as though it were gold, because it is. Peace is the packaging of prosperity. Avoid conversations that drain belief. Limit the noise of those who doubt what they cannot discern. Not everyone who claps for you carries clean hands. Some will admire your glow but not understand your grind. Keep your circle filled with those who see purpose, not just profit. When you feel the magnitude of this moment, resist the temptation to explain it. Many will ask how this happened. Smile gently and say, "Heaven kept its word." That answer is enough. You owe no justification for divine justice. I have watched you walk through deserts without complaining. Build altars instead of walls, bless instead of curse. Now the harvest must match the seed. The time of visible testimony is here. Breathe, child. You are breathing miracle air. Every inhale is permission. Every exhale is release. Let your faith settle deep into this truth. You will never return to the season of emptiness again. The decree of 28 trillion is permanent. It cannot be revoked or reversed. It is sealed with the same light that shaped the stars. As you read these words, something in the unseen is aligning. Angels are delivering messages, approvals, and invitations. Signatures are appearing on papers. Hearts are being softened and paths are being cleared. Heaven is not preparing the blessing anymore. It is delivering it. Your only task now is gratitude. Let Thanksgiving fill your days like fragrance fills the air after rain. Gratitude magnetizes manifestation, child of divine purpose. I have one last instruction for this part. Begin to expect without effort. Expect peace without panic, favor without force, progress without pressure. Expect joy to meet you in the morning and victory to walk beside you at night. Expect your atmosphere to testify before your words do. For you are now a carrier of heaven's rhythm, and heaven's rhythm never misses a beat. The decree is active, the vault remains open, and heaven's echo repeats through eternity. Deliver it all, beloved child. Step deeper into this moment with reverence, for the decree of 28 trillion has entered its phase of expansion. What was released into your name now begins to multiply through everything you touch. The seed has sprouted, and the harvest is no longer distant. It is developing under your feet. The soil of your life has turned fertile again, watered by faith and warmed by divine timing. You are walking through a field you once wept over, and now it glows with gold. Understand, the wealth I send is alive. It listens, breathes, and responds to the condition of your heart. When your words are hopeful, it grows. When your spirit is grateful, it blossoms. When your intentions are pure, it travels faster. This is why I kept you waiting until your motives were mature. I was not withholding the blessing. I was refining the vessel. The river must not overflow its banks before the ground is ready. Now you are ready. Archangel Michael stands at the gates of your new season, no longer holding a sword of battle, but a pen of record. He writes in the book of manifestation, "The appointed one has entered expansion." At that inscription, the winds change direction. Favor that once moved slowly now races like light. Delays dissolve, approvals appear. You will hear news that feels too sudden, too seamless, yet it will carry the calm of inevitability. That calm is your sign that heaven is moving. Beloved, the number 28 trillion is not random. It is rhythm. It signifies a heartbeat of completion pulsing through your life. I have tied your timeline to my tempo. That means no force can rush what I am building, and no darkness can slow it. The world will call it acceleration. I call it synchronization. Now hear me on stewardship for prosperity without principal collapses. I am granting you not just wealth, but wisdom, the blueprint to maintain it. Each idea you receive in this season is a seed of instruction. Write it, guard it, act on it quickly. I am teaching you to govern abundance, not to chase it.